Welcome to Rise Unwind. Every week on our show, we bring you lifestyle tips, tricks, and more from all the people who know it best. And this week, we have this.
I love to do moves that, people kind of already do, but I put my own kind of Tiffy twist on it, if you will.
Sitting here as a commentator talking about chess, trash talking chess, back to my roots.
All that and more on Rise Unwind. Tennis is more popular than ever. More than 25 million Americans played last year. It's great for staying active and having fun at any age. But right now, there just aren't enough coaches to keep up. Here to share how USTA is helping is Megan Rose, Managing Director of USTA Coaching. Hi, Megan. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
So good to have you here. Megan, can you tell us about this new coaching program and what it's trying to do?
Yeah, we're really excited. We launched USTA Coaching, which is a new national platform that's really designed to empower, engage, support, and educate tennis coaches across all levels. So think anyone from a parent that's looking to introduce tennis to their kid for the first time, a high school coach, a part-time volunteer, all the way up to those full-time teaching professionals. USTA Coaching is really a one-stop digital hub that's providing benefits, education, certification in certain levels, and services that really we think are going to help empower coaches to deliver great experiences for players across the country.
And how can a great coach make a difference, not just in a player's game, but in their confidence?
Well, we know that, tennis coaches are really critical to our retention piece on the participation side. And so when the USTA looked at our strategy of getting 35 million players in the United States by 2035, we knew that coaches were going to play a critical piece of that. And so, coaches can really inspire you to want to keep coming back. We know that tennis is the world's healthiest sport. And so coaches being able to deliver fun, inclusive, level-based experiences for players at all ages, all levels, all abilities, we know that that's going to help increase our retention rate. And so this is really about supporting coaches from USTA Coaching, supporting them to be able to go out and really be educated and supported so they can feel like they can go out there and deliver these great experiences for players in their communities.
And what do you think makes someone a great youth sports coach?
It's a great question. We think that, great coaches can really inspire and motivate and build the confidence of players through connection. As tennis coaches, see a lot of different types of players throughout the day, having a coach that can really understand a youth player, a kid, and really be able to create a playful and fun environment for them is really important. Kids maybe aren't thinking about wanting to become, the next Coco Gauff. I mean, maybe hopefully a lot of them are, but some kids, they just want to go out and they just want to have fun. They just want to hit some balls, get outside, get some exercise. And so with USTA Coaching, this is designed to support coaches no matter what level of player that they're coaching. And we know that, we've seen, I don't know if you grew up playing sports, I did. I could tell you a coach that I had that really made a positive impact on me and a coach that really had a negative impact on me, and definitely feel a lot more fondly about the positive one and know that those are the type of coaches that kept me in the game. And so we want to make sure that we're supporting those types of coaches with USTA Coaching.
And how will this new effort help tennis grow across the country?
Our goal here is really to continue to help with the retention and participation numbers of tennis. And so we know that if we get many more coaches kind of in this platform, in this profession, either part-time or full-time basis, that's going to really bleed into different communities and make sure that we're having more coaches that are delivering these great experiences and really a kind of a rising tide lifts all boats. So we've seen the great success of American tennis at the highest levels. At Grand Slams, we're seeing American champions kind of hoist those trophies. And so we want to make sure that the more coaches that we have, the more people that are really inspired and motivated and feeling confident to play tennis and continue playing tennis and be able to just really continue to help grow these healthy communities everywhere. And so we're really excited about the role that USTA Coaching can play in that. In the overall kind of growth of tennis in the United States.
Awesome information today, Megan. And for anyone interested in becoming a tennis coach, how can they get started?
Really easy. You can join us at USDAcoaching.com. That's where you'll find a one-stop shop. You'll be able to select a benefits package. It starts at a free baseline level all the way to a $249 a year package for that full-time teaching professional. And there really it's a one-stop shop for education, benefits, equipment discounts, and services. And so, everything that you need is at USDAcoaching.com.
Thanks for coming to the show, Megan. You have a great day.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Big things are happening in the world of chess. The St. Louis Chess Club just opened the largest campus in U.S., already drawing some of the biggest names in the game. Joining us is Grandmaster Maurice Ashley to share more about this exciting moment. Welcome to the show, Maurice.
Thanks for having me, Amanda.
And what makes the newly expanded St. Louis Chess Club campus so special and unique in the chess world?
Well, as you mentioned, 30,000 square feet. They were already a pretty big chess club, but they decided to shut it down for a minute and build it better and bigger. And they've done that. They've added a state-of-the-art broadcast studio. They've got a chess-themed restaurant. They already have the World Chess Hall of Fame across the street with the biggest chess piece in the world, a 30-foot-high chess king. This wing, this corner of the Central West End is just all things chess. And they have programming for kids as well. So you say chess, they've got it here in St. Louis.
That's a chess player's dream. How does this reopening help solidify St. Louis's reputation as the global capital of chess?
Well, first of all, they already were the capital of chess in the United States. And that's decreed by the Senate of the United States, a place where they can't agree on anything. But they agreed that certainly here in St. Louis, by proclamation, it is the capital of chess in the U.S. Well, now with the expansion, they're going bolder. They're trying to be even more audacious in staking the claim as the global capital of chess. And by having these events, elite events with the best players on the planet coming to play, giving away all this prize money as well, they're just staking that claim that no place in the world is going to be better for chess than St. Louis.
And so there's a full lineup of tournaments and matches. What are some of the key events happening this month?
Well, you've got the event with Garry Kasparov, the 15-year world champion, and Vishy Anand, who has a 5-time world champion. That was $144,000 in prize money. They've got their rivalry that they definitely banging heads once again. It's like Federer versus Nadal in tennis. Everybody loves that. And then you've got the national championships that are being played by the best players in the country, descending, 24 of the best players in the country descending on St. Louis for the national titles that they want to win. And then at the end of the month, we're going to conclude with 4 of the best players in the world. In fact, world champion Gukesh Damaraju, he's playing. He's 19 years old from India, 19. He's going to be playing his elder statesmen. They're in their 30s, by the way, early 30s, in Magnus Carlsen, who was a former champ, but is still world number 1. You got Hikaru Nakamura, who's world number 2, and Fabiano Caruana, who's world number 3. They're both the top players in the U.S. as well. So you've got the best players, and they're playing for over $400,000 in prize money. You add up all the prize money, it's almost $1 million being given away in the month of October. That says we are serious about showing that St. Louis is the best of the best when it comes to chess.
And Maurice, how is the club working to inspire and educate the next generation of chess players?
You know, when I was playing back in the day, you won like $2,000 at a chess tournament. You were rich. It was amazing. But now, first place in the tournament I just described with the top players in the world, first place is a minimum $120,000. There's also jackpot money you could add to that. You could bring your prize total to over $150,000 when it's all said and done. Even last place is walking out with a minimum 60 grand. Could I play, please? I want to play. The prize money now is really ballooned. And so young people who want to be involved in chess, sure, there are educational benefits that you accrue as you play chess, you study chess. You get better as a problem solver, a critical thinker, but there's also some money in the game now. So if you really want to chase chess down as a career, now it's possible. So everything will inspire young people nowadays to look at chess and say, you know what, chess is cool. Maybe I want to play that when I grow up.
I'm with you on that. For that prize money, I'm into it too. As the first African-American grandmaster, Maurice, what does this moment mean to you personally?
Well, I grew up playing chess in Brooklyn, New York, played in the parks in Brooklyn. I got trash talked by the hustlers, got my money taken by the hustlers as well. And to come from that to one day becoming a grandmaster, having a playing career myself, And then retiring, being able to write books and do videos and do lectures to lots of companies around the world, including Fortune 500 companies like Google and Amazon, Pinterest, and the like. Now to be sitting here as a commentator talking about chess, trash talking chess, back to my roots, with the best players on the planet, rubbing shoulders with the LeBron Jameses and Steph Currys of chess. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's been quite a journey. And my friends back in the day who played with me and those who have passed on, I'm sure looking down and saying, man, you've come a long way representing us all the way from BK. So it's a real thrill to be in the position I'm in.
That's awesome, Maurice. And for the world of chess, where can people go for more information?
Very easy, stlouischessclub.org. You'll find out everything you need to know about the great events that they host, the children's programs that they run, and all things chess. It's easy enough, stlouischessclub.org.
Sounds great. Thanks for being on the show today, Maurice. It's been awesome to have you.
Thanks for having me.
The greatest job in the world must be what our next guests have. Just imagine traveling to any city in the world, sitting down, finding food, finding cultures, and just hanging out with some good people. And that's what, the chef of love, Mr. Jernard Wells, does for a living. So let's chat with this cat right now. Hey, Chef Jernard, how are you, my friend?
I am feeling good. I want to tell you, I love that Paisley shirt. You're rocking it.
Thank you. I think this is the only shirt, the second shirt that I own. So thank you. That is it. Oh, you have the ultimate job. You travel from city to city. You talk to people that you love. You eat the foods that you love. You do things that you love. No wonder why they call you the chef of love. But come on, man. Tell us about the new show, Savor the City.
Yes, Savor the City is my way of sharing love with the world. Now, I said, no more waiting until people are gone to give them their flowers. I said, let's give them their flowers now while they're still here and they can smell them and know how great they are to us, what they mean to the culture. And I think it's so important that others learn and see what amazing gems that we have right at our back doors sometime, at our front doors, the local bakery, the local restaurant, the mom and pop. Let's go and sow into them some of the best food, the history, the culture, the travel. And I'm using the dinner plate to connect us because food is what ultimately connects us all.
And when you're traveling, is there anything that really surprised you? Like maybe some ingredient, maybe something that you realized in a culture that you just didn't get used to or just learned along your travels?
One of the biggest things that surprised me out of all things, I was eating at an amazing restaurant, and this particular restaurant served me shark. It was my first time experiencing shark, and seeing that shark actually tastes like pork chops. Most people say, "Oh, all these different dishes, what it tastes like chicken." No, the shark actually tastes like a sweet, juicy pork chop, which was really amazing, but surprised me because at first I was like, I don't know if I want to venture here. But this is the thing. I want to bring the best to my people. If you're afraid to try it, if you're afraid to travel there, you hadn't experienced it yet, let me be your personal tour guide. I'm going to take you through it. I'm going to share what the food tastes like, give you play-by-play experiences, as well as take you on a journey that you wouldn't get no other way other than joining me on Savor the City.
Chef Jernard, we have you on our show all the time, and we want to say congratulations on your big show.
Right.
Check out Chef Jernard Wells every Thursday night on TV1 for Savor the City at 8 p.m. 7 Central. Thanks again, man, for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Fall is the season to prepare your home for colder weather and holiday gatherings. A little maintenance now can prevent big problems later. Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, is here with her must-do projects and expert advice. Welcome to the show, Angie.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
What are the top fall maintenance projects homeowners should handle now?
Yeah, the first one I would recommend is actually having your furnace tuned up. Having your HVAC system tuned up a couple of times a year helps to make sure that it runs more efficiently. And because it is your largest user of energy in your home, can save you money every month on your utility bills. Also, be sure to change those furnace filters once a month to make sure that you're running smoothly as well. And then you want to clear your gutters. Your gutters are a big protection against water in your home because you don't want to have water pooling at your foundation, running into a basement, because that can be a costly repair. So clearing those gutters is really important. And then I'd suggest checking your windows and doors to make sure they have adequate weather stripping. An easy way to do that is to take a candle and walk by your windows and doors. And if that flame flickers, it probably means you need new weather stripping. This can be an easy DIY project and inexpensive to replace that weather stripping and make sure that you're keeping that warm air in. And then finally, especially if you've lived in your house for a while, you might want to have your attic checked to make sure it has adequate insulation because heat does rise, and we want to make sure that that warm air is not escaping through your roof.
Those are some great tips. A lot of stuff we don't really often think about. And during the holidays, what are the most common home repair issues you see?
Well, the most common thing that causes problems for us during the holidays are plumbing issues. Think about it. We've got extra people visiting, we're doing more cooking, and we're just asking our plumbing system just to do more. So be sure that you're practicing good habits when it comes to your plumbing as you head into the holidays. For example, be careful of what you're putting down drains. The number one no-no for that kitchen sink is grease. When you're cooking, do not put grease down the drain. And then also, don't overload your garbage disposal. I can speak from experience on this one. I put too much pasta in mine once and had to have a plumber out to replace my garbage disposal, which was certainly not on my original to-do list. So to avoid an emergency plumbing call, practice some of these good habits so that we can avoid these problems down the road.
And Angie has been in business for nearly 3 decades. How has the company adapted over the years?
Well, Angie has been focused from the very beginning on helping you find good pros to do work around your home. But we started in an offline world. There was no internet. So you would actually call in and get recommendations for plumbers, electricians, you name it. Today, that is done online through our website or our app. And in addition to getting the names of good pros, you can also read their reviews, get pricing information, as well as just explore and learn about projects that you might be wanting to tackle around your house.
And what tips do you have for homeowners who want to prevent costly surprises this season?
Yeah, the important thing here is to plan ahead. Do maintenance as recommended, because those types of maintenance projects tend to prevent bigger problems down the road and also just reduce stress. And also be sure that you're budgeting. Budget about 1% of the value of your home for improvements and repairs throughout the year, because having that money set aside will also help to make you feel prepared and reduce stress.
These have been some awesome tips. Angie, where can people go to find more information?
You can get more information at Angie.com, ANGI.com.
That's awesome. Thank you. It's been so good having you.
Thank you.
COVID-19 cases are still spreading, and new changes to vaccine guidance have left a lot of people unsure about what to do next. Should you still get a shot? Do you need a prescription? And who is most at risk right now? Joining us with answers today is former U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Jerome Adams. Welcome to the show, Dr. Adams.
Good day to you. Good to be with you.
So glad to have you here. The CDC's vaccine panel just updated their recommendations. Can you help explain what people really need to know?
Well, the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, or ACIP, changed their guidance from recommending COVID-19 vaccines for all adults to now what's called shared clinical decision-making. What that really means is that it's going to be up to patients and their healthcare providers to decide together whether or not the patient is at higher risk and should get a COVID-19 vaccine.
That new approach called shared decision-making, what does that mean for someone trying to decide if they should get a vaccine?
Well, it means that it's more important than ever that you have an open conversation with your healthcare provider, because they understand your circumstances and can help you decide what's right for you. But overall, the data still strongly supports vaccination for most Americans. Last season, we had more people die from COVID-19 than died from breast cancer or car wrecks. And I want people to understand 7 out of 10 adults have a risk factor for negative outcomes from COVID, being overweight, being diabetic, high blood pressure, or asthma. I have the latter too, and I got my COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot last week. And your risk is also about your circumstances. If you're a bus driver, a teacher, you work in healthcare, you're a restaurant worker or a cashier, of course, your daily exposure and risk is going to be higher than someone who works from home. So again, that's why this personalized decision-making and medical guidance is going to be key moving forward to people staying safe.
Very good points. So some people are hearing they need a prescription now. Is that true? And how could it affect access?
Well, unfortunately, it is true in some places. I've talked to your governor recently. I know in North Carolina, they're going to do all they can to make sure people can get access to COVID-19 vaccines without a barrier. But unclear federal guidance, patchwork state rules means that it could vary by age, insurance, and even which pharmacy you visit. If you're 65 or older, or you have an underlying condition, you are clearly at higher risk according to the FDA. So you should be able to get vaccinated without a prescription. But for younger or lower risk age groups, the process may be harder. That said, I'm in Indiana. My wife and I and my 3 kids all were able to get our COVID-19 and flu shots last week without a prescription. So that's good news.
And what about insurance? Can people still get a COVID-19 vaccine without having to pay out of pocket?
Well, all the major private insurers came together and committed to covering all ACIP recommended vaccines, including COVID-19. That covers about 315 million Americans. Public programs like Medicare, Medicaid, and the Affordable Care Act marketplace will also continue to cover COVID-19 vaccines. But as you mentioned, there are about 26 million Americans who remain uninsured. And unfortunately, they could be left without any access unless state or federal programs step in. And unfortunately, those individuals are disproportionately at higher risk for negative outcomes from COVID. So I hope our policymakers will come together and really ensure that anyone who wants a COVID-19 vaccine can get access to one without cost.
And with all this confusion, Dr. Adams, how can someone find clear and reliable guidance in their own area?
Well, I hope we helped people cut through some confusion today. But if you have questions, talk to your doctor, your pharmacist, your nurse practitioner, because not only do they know your health, but they also know the local options available to you. And you can also go to cveep.org, cveep.org. They have information about COVID-19 and other vaccines. They also have a vaccine locator tab you can go to. You put in your zip code, and it can tell you where in your community you can go to for vaccines or to talk to a pharmacist.
Thank you for all the super helpful information today, Dr. Adams. It's been great having you on the show.
Thank you. Stay safe, everyone.
Ever wonder what it feels like to headline the biggest stage in sports entertainment? Yep, that's true. It's WrestleMania 42. It's on its way, and WWE's women champion Tiffany Stratton is leading the charge. From gymnastics star to WWE superstar, she's known for the prettiest moonsault ever and for ushering in what fans call the prettiest era ever. And we got to welcome her to the show. Tiffany, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Your path from the U.S. national gymnastics teams to WWE champion, it's pretty incredible. When you look back, what do you think gave you the confidence to kind of make that leap?
That's a really good question. My mom actually had a lot to do with me kind of going into wrestling. She saw Charlotte Flair on our TV screen. We were kind of scrolling through the channels, and she was like, you can totally do something like that. Like, that's totally like what you do in gymnastics right now. And I was like, yeah, okay, Mom, I'm going to the Olympics. Like, stop it. I have to focus on gymnastics. And then eventually, that dream died, and I moved on from gymnastics, and I did CrossFit, I did bodybuilding, and I kind of just wanted to do something that was a little bit more competitive. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this wrestling stuff out, because I saw it was starting to get popular. I saw it on my Instagram. I saw it on Facebook and stuff like that. So I signed up at my nearest pro wrestling school, and it happened to be at Mr. Kennedy's pro wrestling school. And my mom then had a contact who knew Greg Gagne and had reached out to him. And he agreed to train me for a little bit, and he helped me get my tryout with WWE. And then eventually I tried out, and they signed me a week later, and here I am 4 years later, the WWE Women's Champion. I wrestled Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I beat Trish Stratus, Nia Jax. So it's been a very successful 4 years.
And you've got like a very unique style in the ring. How'd you shape your persona and in-ring moves that fans now connect with Tiffy time?
So I think a lot of the moves that I do in the ring, I used to do when I was a gymnast. And I love to do moves that, people kind of already do, but I put my own kind of Tiffy twist on it, if you will. And I try and do it better than anybody else has ever done it, or prettier, if you will. So like my moonsault, for instance, my swanton, stuff like that. I try and add like a little, flair onto it. And I also try and make it look brutal and aggressive at the same time. So we're pretty in the ring, but we're also aggressive.
And last year, WrestleMania 41 shattered records in Las Vegas. Now WrestleMania 42 is set to return to Allegiant Stadium. How does it feel knowing you'll be part of that history?
So last year was actually my first ever WrestleMania. And that whole process was so exciting for me. It was nerve-wracking, but for it to be in Las Vegas was just so fun for me, because I feel like Vegas is just an iconic state. Like, I feel like it's a sports entertainment capital of the world. Everyone talks about Las Vegas and how entertaining it is. So to have my first ever WrestleMania there against Charlotte Flair was such a dream come true. And now that we get to go back to Las Vegas, it's almost like nostalgic for me, because Vegas holds a special place in my heart since it was my first WrestleMania. So I'm super excited to go back. I feel like Vegas has something for everybody. We're going to have SmackDown there. We're going to have Raw there. We're going to have NXT there. There's going to be after parties, watch parties. And if you ever get bored of the wrestling, because there's going to be a lot of wrestling going on, you can literally find something to do on the strip. So it's going to be such a fun weekend.
And you've already had huge moments, winning Money in the Bank, cashing in, becoming champion. What's been your biggest, pinch me moment so far in WWE?
My biggest pinch me moment, I feel like, was probably my WrestleMania match. Either that or cashing in and winning the title. I felt like that whole day was so stressful and exhilarating and exciting and nerve-wracking. And when I did cash in and I came out and I thought about it, then I pulled it away, and then I hit Naomi with the briefcase, and then Bianca hit her finish, and then I pulled Bianca out. It was just like so many ups and downs, and I was like, oh my god, am I gonna do this? Am I not gonna do this? And then finally I cashed in and I hit my moonsault, and that was kind of like the moment where I was like, holy crap, I just became champion in my first year of being on SmackDown. So that was probably the biggest pinch me moment of my career.
Tiffany Stratton, thanks for joining me today. WrestleMania 42 takes over Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium on April 18th and 19th in 2026. I know you got time, but 2-day combo tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster, so don't miss your chance to be part of WWE's biggest event of the year. Tiffany, thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for watching Rise Unwind. Please visit us on our website at riseunwindtv.com. Follow us on our socials and subscribe to our YouTube at Rise Unwind. And thanks for tuning in. You take care. We'll see you next week.